Hello, and thank you for clicking on a link to learn more about group items, the nature of group items within QuickBooks. A lot of people, contractors, retailers, everyone's can use a group item. If you're not really manufacturing a product and you either want to print the items in a group or not, those options are there, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Or you just want to do a quick data entry, or just sell a bunch of things that are, you always sell the same things or you receive the same things in combination. Instead of doing separate items, you can just put all those items into a group, for example. So a couple examples, you can even track commissions to vendors. If they're for your sales reps using a group item, I'll show you that in a sec. So a lot of different ways group items come into play. So if you look at my item list, I have a custom storage shed here, and it has the, just lumber, rough, and some labor involved. And we'll say that there's also framing involved, of course, and installation. So whatever would be the typical things of this group, you would add. Then you can choose to either print the items or in a group. If you check the box, it'll actually on the invoice when you print it or sales receipt, you'll see all the items of the group. But if you don't want to see that detail, then you can suppress that. It'll just be one item. And you can uncheck the box. Now in Pro and Premier you have a limit of up to 20 items per the group item, and I think Enterprise has up to 100. And of course this will just be the same description there. So that's how it's going to show. So let me go ahead and click OK for this group item, and now let's go ahead and quickly sell that for Joe here. Do a sales receipt. And if I go down to the actual item there, we'll sell them that storage shed, just so you guys get an idea of what it'll look like. And there it is, and I can put the rate here. Obviously, if you had it set up already, I would have had that there, and it's a rough lumber, and then of course maybe for the labor it's $150. So this would be how quickly it is, and if we choose to preview it, because I did not check the box, right, it's going to show up. Actually, I did check that box, so it's going to show up as just the custom storage building. If you did not check, sorry, I did not check it, so it prints as one. If you do check it to print the items in a group, you'd see all the components. So if you're trying to keep things from your customer that they don't need to see, obviously check the box to print the. Do not check the box to print the items in the group. And then if you do want them to see all the detail on the group item itself, choose to print the items in a group. So I'm going to go ahead and just click Save and Close for now. And there it is, those faster data entry. Now let's do a particular example of maybe tracking vendor commission. So if I go back to my item list, I set up 3 items, but I'm using with the group. I actually have a group item right here that's called Sale and Commission, and I say Booked. So I'm going to actually track vendor commissions using the group item. I don't want the customer to see the commission and what I'm doing. I want to actually track the other current liability, the expense or the cost of goods sold of the business, and the revenue, all when I create the invoice. So I've created an appliance item. This is a non-inventory part, right, for the appliance that Joe's going to sell. The commission owed to Joe, my vendor or sales rep, this is a non-inventory part, and it's hitting the other current liability account. Okay, and that's going to go in as a positive amount on the invoice in the credit area, right, so that it actually credits out of the current liability, and then I can cut them a check later, which will debit it. Then I have an expense to the business, or a cost of goods sold. This is a discount item. Nice trick I learned from Stacy Kildall of Radio Free QuickBooks. Anyway, the discount item, I'm going to put it as negative on the invoice, which will actually then debit that expense, because this discount item is linked to an expense account. And I put all of these in the group, and I chose not to check the box because I don't want to print the items. I just want them to see what I'm actually selling. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, go back to my customer here, and create an invoice. And exclude his billable time. And in this case, I'm going to do that group item that we have there. And there they all are. And we'll say it's the appliance is 1,000, and Joe gets 150, gets 15%. And of course that's a positive, but the discount item is going to put it as a negative, so that's going to zero out, right? So it shows the expense to me, which is discount item, and the other current liability for Joe. And then I'm going to click Save and Close. And if we look at the actual invoice in the journal report, here's what was done behind the scenes. Right. So I have the income, the other current liability, the expense to the business, all tracked on the transaction. Now I can go cut him a check. Hope that was helpful. Have a great day.